On this channel, we're always talking about the terrifying monsters you can encounter in the world's oceans. But it's not just the vast seas that are home to scary, scaly creatures with razor-sharp teeth. Rivers have their fair share too. Here are the biggest river monsters ever caught. Number 15. Monster Gunch catfish. Gunch catfish are some of the rarest giant freshwater fish on Earth. They also live in some of the most isolated waters, which means you're probably more likely to get hit by a car than you are to catch one of these. But what if you try really hard? Well, then you might just stand a chance. Animal Planet TV show River Monsters host Jeremy Wade once caught a Gunch catfish weighing 161 pounds, which was the record catch at the time. Then the record was broken by angler Jacob Wagner, who caught a 165-pound Gunch catfish in 2009. But Jacob didn't stop there. The extreme angler wanted to catch another river monster, so he did. In 2012, he broke his own record by catching a 192-pound Gunch catfish on his rod and reel. He retains the world record to this day. Surprisingly, Jacob actually put in a lot of effort to catch the fish. He went scuba diving looking for a large one and then cast his bait in the general area of it. That definitely worked. He has the record to prove it. Number 14. Giant Siamese carp. One fisherman had a better day than most when he managed to land 3 massive Siamese carp after a day of fishing in Thailand. According to the man, the fish weighed 80 kilograms, 100 kilograms, and 50 kilograms, and he pulled them in on a 10,000 spinning reel. Fortunately, after the man caught these river monsters, he put them back. Now, you're probably wondering why. Well, the Siamese carp, or giant barb as it is also known, is critically endangered. They are only found in the Mekong, Chao Phraya River, and Mekong River basins in Indochina, and habitat loss has caused a dramatic population drop. Most commonly, you'll find them in pools around the edges of rivers. Still, they can also enter small canals, flooded forests, floodplains, swamps, and tributaries. They are among the largest freshwater fish in the world, which is why they are considered a bit of a river monster. They can grow nearly 10 feet long and up to about 660 pounds. However, there hasn't been one caught weighing over 330 pounds since 1994, which occurred in Cambodia. Number 13. Electric eel. In the Amazon River, South America, electric eels are native to the tropical river systems in South America. They have the titles of being the most electric animals and the most electric fish. But did you know these giant river monsters could be even more diverse and exciting than you first thought? As if it wasn't bad enough to get shocked by an eel, then you'll be shocked to know that some are more powerful than others. Since they were first examined in 1766, it was always believed that there was one type of electric eel and one alone, the Electrophorus electricus. But as it turns out, there are at least 2 more, which live in fresh waters of the Amazon River. And one guy learned the hard way just how these eels are different. University of Central Florida ichthyologist Dr. William Crampton was creating an episode of Monster Fish, a National Geographic TV show, with Zeb Hogan when his cinematographer, Colm Whelan, got more than he bargained for. He was shocked by an eel that came out of a stream bank hole. Dr. Crampton said that he had been shocked by eels before, but this seemed different. Colm remained white and trembling for a long time after the shock. After research, they discovered it belonged to a different species and had a record-breaking 860-volt shock. An average electric eel voltage is up to 650 volts. Number 12. 230-pound alligator gar in Texas River. An alligator gar is the largest fish in the gar family, measuring up to 10 feet long and having existed for over 100 million years. Still, as exciting as they are to see, they are often considered trash fish or a nuisance species to fishers. That was until studies carried out in the 80s made people realize that they were as essential to the ecosystem as other types of fish. The alligator garfish are by no means attractive. They have a dual row of large, sharp teeth, and they use these to impale and hold their prey. They are also ambush predators that stalk their prey and feast on small mammals and waterfowl. They're certainly an intriguing river monster, and one that an angler by the name of Fish Whisperer was happy to come across. Fish Whisperer uploaded a video to the internet about his encounter with a 7-foot, 230-pound alligator gar. Gotta keep on, keep it nice and low. It was around half the size of his boat, and the angler believes he may have been swimming in the narrow river since around World War II. Number 11. Nile perch in the Nile River, Africa. Fish aren't always the smartest life form. They don't always learn from their mistakes, and it's obvious when you hook one that appears to have a lot of scarring from previous encounters with hooks. But perhaps that's why there's barely any mention of the Nile perch being landed by fishermen watching the side. It's tied out. It's thought that this type of giant fish doesn't forget. So if you do happen to land one and then throw it back, you've imprinted the idea that bait equals bad. They won't be in a hurry to be caught again. It is thought that the Nile perch is quite a rare fish as well, but they live around the Great Rift Valley in Africa. Fishermen there in recent years have even landed one weighing 250 pounds. It then died after a battle with a Nile crocodile while still on the fishing line. Nile perch is native to several river basins around the Congo, Senegal, Niger, and the Nile. They are freshwater fish and grow up to around 240 pounds on average. Now it's time for today's topic. In March 2025, veteran fisherman Dale Mercer was casting nets off the shoreline of Anastasia Island, Florida, when he pulled in something that has since stunned marine biologists and the internet alike. Entangled in his gear was a grotesque, eel-like sea creature nearly 9 feet long, with a massive gaping mouth lined with needle-sharp, hook-shaped teeth and fleshy barbs radiating from its head like deep-sea antennae. Mercer, who's been fishing Florida's Atlantic coast for over 30 years, said, "I've seen sharks, rays, even deep-sea squid washed up after storms, but nothing like this. The creature's pale, leathery skin, elongated body, and primitive jaw structure have led scientists to speculate it could be a previously undocumented species of abyssal predator, possibly related to deep-sea polychaetes or an evolved variant of the frilled shark. Some even believe it may have been forced into shallower waters due to seismic activity off the southeastern U.S. coast the week prior. Samples have been sent to the University of Florida's Marine Research Institute for analysis, but no official classification has been made yet. Meanwhile, skeptics online claim the photo is edited or staged, but locals who saw the creature firsthand say it was all too real and absolutely terrifying. Number 10. 800-pound stingray. Let's put this into perspective. The average stingray is between 6.5 and 7.5 feet long and weighs about 600 or 700 pounds. But this one caught in the Mekong River of Thailand, well, it can only be described as one of the biggest river monsters ever caught. According to National Geographic, this giant stingray caught and released in the river weighed up to 800 pounds. It was also 14 feet long and 8 feet wide. It was found by a team of people on a TV show called Ocean Mysteries, including the TV show host Jeff Corwin and veterinarian Nantarika Chansu. At least 8 people were involved in the capture, and the stingray was so large that its measurements couldn't officially be recorded. There is doubt over whether it can even be recorded as the world's largest ever caught freshwater fish. According to Jeff Corwin, who posted all the stingray information on his Facebook page, the stingray was alive and well. It would be featured in an episode of the ABC show for all river monster lovers to see. Number 9. World's largest Mekong giant catfish. It can be amazing enough to come across a normal-sized catfish in your local river, but imagine having the title of the world's largest freshwater fish ever caught. That was the case for this catfish in Chiang Khong, Thailand, which was caught back in 2005, weighing 645 pounds and measuring almost 9 feet long. Thai fishery stripped the eggs from the fish for a breeding program and planned to release the fish. However, it died in captivity and was sold to local villagers as food. The Mekong giant catfish, as it's called, is a gentle giant, feeding primarily on algae and other plant matter, making its massive size even more remarkable. These fish are known for their incredible strength, and catching one often requires a team of people and specialized equipment. The Mekong River, where they are found, is one of the most biodiverse rivers in the world, but it is also under threat from dam construction, pollution, and overfishing. The decline in the Mekong giant catfish population is a stark reminder of the impact human activity can have on freshwater ecosystems. Conservationists are working tirelessly to protect the species, with efforts including breeding programs, fishing bans, and habitat restoration projects. Despite these efforts, the species remains critically endangered, with fewer than 1,000 individuals estimated to be left in the wild. The fish's cultural significance in Southeast Asia cannot be overstated, as it is often regarded as a symbol of the Mekong River's vitality and abundance. Local legends and folklore frequently feature the giant catfish, adding to its mystique and importance in the region. The 2005 catch brought global attention to the plight of the Mekong giant catfish, sparking discussions about the need for international cooperation to protect the river and its inhabitants. According to experts' estimates, a mature male catfish can weigh more than 700 pounds and measure around 10 feet long. They are a critically endangered catfish species and are native to the Mekong Basin in Southeast Asia and China. Even though the catfish caught in 2005 was a world record, that doesn't mean their heft is surprising. This freshwater fish species can grow rapidly, putting on up to 440 pounds in as little as 6 years. If we humans did that, we'd be in a world of trouble. Before the 2005 catch, the world's largest had been a female in 1981, measuring 8 feet 10 inches and weighing 646 pounds. Number 8. Monster Chinook salmon in Atlantic River. British Columbia has a reputation for monstrous fish. Throughout the many rivers, lakes, and streams, there are 5 species of Pacific salmon and 36 different rockfish species. So if you go out fishing around this part of the country, you rarely come up empty-handed. Sometimes, though, you get extra lucky. The hereditary chief of the Owikino First Nation, Ted Wakas, caught a massive Chinook salmon in the Atlantic River. It was so large that its tail almost touched the ground when he held it up, and its jaw looked wide enough to munch down on a human head. Chinook salmon, also known as king salmon, are the largest species of Pacific salmon and can grow up to 135 pounds in rare cases. These fish are prized for their rich, flavorful meat and are a vital part of the ecosystem, serving as a food source for bears, eagles, and even orcas. The size of this particular salmon suggests it was likely an older fish, as Chinook salmon can live up to 7 years, with the largest individuals often being the oldest. During the spawning season, Chinook salmon migrate hundreds of miles upstream, using incredible strength and endurance to reach their breeding grounds. This journey takes a toll on their bodies, causing them to lose significant weight and energy, which makes the size of Ted's catch even more impressive. Salmon are also culturally significant to many indigenous communities in British Columbia, including the Owikino First Nation, where they are celebrated as a symbol of life and sustenance. Hatchery programs like the one Ted contributed to play a crucial role in maintaining salmon populations, which have been declining due to overfishing, habitat loss, and climate change. The hatchery process ensures that more young salmon survive to adulthood, helping to sustain both the ecosystem and the fishing industry. Chinook salmon are also known for their ability to adapt to different environments, thriving in both freshwater and saltwater during their life cycle. Ted's catch not only highlights the abundance of British Columbia's waters, but also underscores the importance of conservation efforts to protect these incredible fish for future generations. It weighed a whopping 50 pounds, and that's after it would have lost a lot of weight during the spawning season. The fish was one of 94 salmon caught for the hatchery to increase breeding numbers. Using a gill net, hatchery staff catch the salmon, mix their sperm and eggs, and raise the baby salmon until they're large enough to release them. Who knows, this massive salmon may have been one from the hatchery as well. Either way, it was a good day for Ted Wakas. Number 7. Bull shark. The Zambezi shark, or bull shark as it's more commonly known, is, in a few words, not very nice. They grow up to 15 feet long, weigh up to 500 pounds, and are one of the 3 most likely shark species to attack humans. What's even more frightening about the bull shark is that they don't just stay in the ocean. You also aren't safe from them in rivers. For example, there were rumors that bull sharks were living in the Breed estuary along South Africa's southwest coast. Given that they need salt in their bodies to survive, which they get from salt water, most people didn't believe those rumors. That is, not until they discovered the sharks for themselves. Over a period of 7 days in January 2009, a survey was undertaken in that estuary to find out if bull sharks really did live there. 2 days before the review was due to end, a giant female bull shark was captured on a rod and reel. It was the largest recorded Zambezi shark at 13.1 feet and definitely proved that they aren't staying where they usually should be. Okay, I've got the line. If it goes, it can go without the line catching anybody. In fact, it was 366 kilometers from the previously documented range. Scientists tagged the shark and tracked its movement. It swam 20 kilometers upstream, then entered into the sea around 2 kilometers out. However, it spent most of its time around boats and shore anglers. Number 6. 265-pound wels catfish. 265 pounds is quite hefty. That's 212 basketballs or 200 pairs of shoes. But it's also the same weight as a wels catfish that angler and catfish expert Dino Ferrari caught in 2017. Give that man a medal. He caught the monster catfish in the Per River in Ostiglia, and it measured a whopping 8.8 feet. He landed the fish after a considerable struggle, but then released it not long after. Wels catfish are known for their incredible strength and stamina, making them a prized catch for anglers around the world. These fish are opportunistic predators, feeding on a variety of prey, including fish, frogs, birds, and even small mammals. In some cases, they have been observed leaping out of the water to snatch unsuspecting birds from the surface. Their barbels, or whisker-like appendages, are highly sensitive and help them detect prey in murky waters where visibility is low. Wels catfish are nocturnal hunters, preferring to feed under the cover of darkness when their prey is less alert. Despite their size, they are surprisingly agile and can move quickly when pursuing prey or evading threats. In some regions, they are considered an invasive species, as their voracious appetite can disrupt local ecosystems and outcompete native fish. Conservationists and researchers are studying their impact on freshwater habitats to better understand how to manage their populations. Wels catfish are also a popular target for sport fishing, with many anglers traveling to Europe specifically to try their luck at catching one of these river giants. Their size and strength make them a true test of skill and endurance for even the most experienced fishermen. Wels catfish, or sheepfish as they're also called, are native to Central, Southern, and Eastern Europe. You'll most commonly find them in the Baltic, Black, and Caspian Sea basin. When you see them in fresh water, it's pretty obvious what they are nearly straight away. They have a broad, flat head, a wide mouth, and 2 long barbels on their upper jaw. They also have a small, sharp dorsal fin. They can grow up to 16 feet long and around 660 pounds, and they are easily some of the largest freshwater fish in Europe and some parts of Asia. Most adult wels catfish will grow up to around 150 pounds maximum and lengths of around 7 feet. Number 5. Arapaima. In the Amazon River, Brazil, the Arapaima gigas, which also goes by the name of pirarucu, is one of the largest freshwater fish to ever be discovered. It's also native to the Amazon River basin and is an obligate air breather, which means it has to come to the surface for air quite often. On the TV show River Monsters, the host Jeremy Wade was told a story about a mysterious creature in the river that was thought to be responsible for abductions in the area. Locals had said that people were disappearing in the water and never coming back. The Arapaima's ability to grow up to 10 feet long and weigh over 400 pounds makes it a formidable presence in the water. Its massive size and strength allow it to overpower smaller animals, and its sharp, bony tongue is used to crush prey like fish and crustaceans. The fish is also known for its armored scales, which are so tough they can resist piranha bites, making it nearly invincible in its natural habitat. Arapaima are opportunistic feeders and have been known to leap out of the water to catch birds or other small animals near the surface. Their habit of surfacing for air can make them easier to spot, but it also makes them vulnerable to human hunters. Overfishing and habitat destruction have significantly reduced their populations, leading to their classification as an endangered species. In some areas, Arapaima are considered a delicacy, and their meat is highly sought after, further threatening their survival. Conservation efforts are underway to protect these incredible fish, including breeding programs and fishing restrictions. Jeremy Wade's investigation highlighted the importance of respecting these creatures and understanding their role in the ecosystem. The Arapaima is not inherently dangerous to humans, but its size and power can make it intimidating, especially to those unfamiliar with it. Jeremy went to the area, Guyana, to investigate and believes an Arapaima is responsible. The huge fish travels between rivers and lakes and is feared by many. Jeremy even said that it was the biggest fish in his South American fishing career and a river monster as deadly as any beast of folklore. Once he caught the fish and solved the mystery, he promptly threw it back. The Arapaima is an endangered species, and he had to get special permission to fish for it. Hopefully that puts the mystery to rest. Number 4. World's largest snake. In Amazon or ever, just because you come across one of the most gigantic river monsters doesn't mean you have to catch it, poke it, prod it, and annoy it. Merely viewing it can be enough, which is something that 3 fishermen didn't quite understand. In the footage they captured, the snake appeared to have just eaten something large for lunch and was trying to move away from the boat before it could get away. Anacondas, the largest snakes in the world, are known for their incredible strength and ability to take down prey much larger than themselves, including deer and caimans. These snakes are non-venomous but rely on their powerful muscles to constrict and suffocate their prey before swallowing it whole. After a large meal, anacondas can go weeks or even months without eating again, as their slow metabolism allows them to digest their food over time. The snake in the footage was likely sluggish and vulnerable due to its full stomach, making the fisherman's actions even more invasive and cruel. Anacondas are a vital part of the Amazon ecosystem, helping to regulate populations of other animals and maintain balance in their environment. Harassing or disturbing them can cause unnecessary stress and potentially harm the animal, especially if it is already weakened. Wildlife experts emphasize the importance of respecting these creatures and observing them from a safe distance to avoid causing harm to both the animal and the humans involved. The Amazon is home to countless unique and endangered species, and laws are in place to protect its biodiversity from human interference. The fishermen's actions not only violated these laws, but also set a poor example of how humans should interact with wildlife. Their behavior sparked outrage online, with many viewers condemning their lack of respect for the snake and the environment. Authorities hope that the fines and potential legal consequences will serve as a deterrent to others who might consider harassing wildlife. One of the fishermen prodded it with their wooden oar. The snake headed off, but they followed it in their boat. As one of them tried to grab it by the tail, it thrashed around to try and get away. Because they were technically chasing or hunting wildlife without a license, the men were given the equivalent of a $600 fine each. They also faced up to 18 months in prison each if they were prosecuted under the environmental law. Number 3. Massive salamander in Japan. It's not uncommon to see dogs, cats, birds, and other animals going for a stroll on footpaths around towns and cities. But you would definitely do a double take if you came across a giant salamander, wouldn't you? In the wild, these primitive amphibians can live for 80 years. A video uploaded to YouTube showed a giant salamander walking down a path near the Kamo River in Japan. The slimy, brown, huge salamander had a bulbous head, beady eyes, and seemingly not a care in the world. Giant salamanders are known for their secretive nature, so seeing one out in the open during the day is a rare and fascinating sight. They are usually found in fast-flowing, cool streams and rivers, where their flattened bodies help them stay hidden under rocks. Their skin is covered in mucus, which not only keeps them moist but also protects them from bacteria and predators. These amphibians are considered living fossils, having remained relatively unchanged for millions of years, making them a window into Earth's prehistoric past. In Japan, the giant salamander is a protected species and holds cultural significance, often appearing in folklore and traditional art. Despite their size, they are surprisingly agile in water, using their powerful tails to propel themselves against strong currents. Their diet isn't limited to fish and crustaceans. They are opportunistic feeders and will eat anything small enough to fit in their mouths, including insects and even small mammals. Conservationists are concerned about their declining populations due to habitat destruction and pollution, which threaten the clean, oxygen-rich waters they depend on. Efforts are being made to preserve their habitats and raise awareness about their ecological importance. Eventually, it made its way back towards the water as police looked on. As the name suggests, giant salamanders are huge, and they are the largest living amphibians. There are species of them in China and Japan, but also eastern parts of the United States. They can grow up to around 5 feet long and tend to feed at night on fish and crustaceans. Believe it or not, they also have very poor eyesight, so they use the sensory nodes on their bodies and heads to detect water pressure changes. This giant salamander must have been awfully confused. Number 2. Sawfish in the Kousa Hatchee River. Fishing guide and the intrepid angler owner Captain Ross had a pretty important job to do. He was tasked with the challenge in 2016 of searching for the prehistoric sawfish in the dark, murky depths of the Kousa Hatchee River. He joined forces with Conway Charters for the mission and set off with a range of high-quality fishing equipment, like a Shimano 8-foot spinning rod, to get the job done. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. While out on the water, they were able to find 6 sawfish up to 13 feet long, then tag them for research. Tagging these sawfish was crucial for tracking their movements and understanding their behavior, as very little is known about their life cycles. The data collected helps researchers identify critical habitats, such as breeding and feeding grounds, which are essential for their conservation. Sawfish are known to prefer shallow coastal waters, estuaries, and even rivers, but their reliance on these habitats makes them vulnerable to human activities like coastal development and pollution. Their saw-like snout, called a rostrum, is not just for show. It's a highly sensitive tool equipped with electroreceptors that help them detect prey hidden in the sand. They use their rostrum to slash through schools of fish, stunning or injuring their prey before consuming it. Despite their fearsome appearance, sawfish are generally harmless to humans and will only use their rostrum defensively if provoked. Conservation efforts are underway globally to protect these incredible creatures, including fishing bans and habitat restoration projects. Public awareness campaigns are also helping to educate people about the importance of sawfish in maintaining healthy marine ecosystems. The sawfish, which also goes by the name of the carpenter shark, is from the ray family. They have a long, narrow nose with sharp teeth, and they kind of look like they have a chainsaw coming out of their face. They can grow up to around 25 feet long and live in tropical and subtropical regions around the world. All 5 species of sawfish are classed as endangered or critically endangered. While habitat loss is partly to blame, so too are humans. Sawfish are often hunted for their fins to create shark fin soup and for what they can offer in traditional medicine. Their teeth and saw are also quite valuable to many people. Number 1. Giant Arapaima in Carerala rivers. Before we talk about the giant 6-foot, 90-pound Arapaima that fisherman Jason Carerala found in his net, let us give you a geography lesson. Kodangalore is a town on the banks of the River Periyar in Kerala, India, and the Amazon River is in South America, flowing from the east to the west. The two locations are around 9,500 miles apart. Arapaima are freshwater fish that are endemic to South America's Amazon River, which means they are native and restricted to a particular area. That area is the Amazon River. Arapaima are known for their ability to breathe air, which allows them to survive in oxygen-poor waters, a trait that likely helped them adapt to new environments. These fish are also among the largest freshwater species in the world, capable of growing up to 10 feet long and weighing over 400 pounds. Their scales are incredibly tough, acting as natural armor to protect them from predators like piranhas in their native habitat. The presence of an Arapaima in Kerala raised concerns about invasive species disrupting local ecosystems, as they are voracious predators that can outcompete native fish. It is believed that the Arapaima may have been introduced to the area through illegal fish farming or as part of the exotic pet trade. Flooding likely allowed these non-native fish to escape into the wild, where they began to thrive in unfamiliar waters. The discovery of the Arapaima sparked debates among conservationists and local authorities about the risks of introducing foreign species into delicate ecosystems. Researchers also noted that the Arapaima's survival in Kerala's rivers highlights its incredible adaptability, but it also serves as a warning about the unintended consequences of human activity. So not only was it rare for a 90-pound Arapaima to be caught, but even more absurd for it to be found almost 10,000 miles away from where it should be. Jason had been fishing at dusk in Kodangalore around a month after severe flooding had wrecked a portion of Kerala in 2018. He caught the flat-headed, pink and cream fish and took a photo of it. That photo caught the attention of a doctoral researcher who visited the area to find out more. By that time, all that was left of the fish was its head after the fisherman had sold it at the market. He took tissue samples and confirmed it was the Arapaima. Thanks to the flooding, the Arapaima wasn't the only fish far from home. Gar from North America was also found in rivers in Kerala. Catching one of these river monsters is an unforgettable experience for any angler. And there you have it, 15 reasons to think twice before stepping into your local rivers. Who knew such massive creatures could be lurking beneath the surface? What's the biggest thing you've ever caught or seen in a river? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to check out our other awesome content popping up on screen right now. See you next time.